The E3 podcast series focuses on various topics around real estate and facilities management. eBiz helps organizations envision the future, enable processes and platforms, and evolve practices for continuous improvement. The topic for this episode is to discuss Planon. I'm Tracy Jefferson, your host, and today I'm joined by a very special guest, Darlene Pope, the president of Planon North America. So welcome, Darlene Pope. I'm really glad you were able to join from Planon. We've watched Planon and the product grow over the years, and it seems like in North America, it's really becoming a powerhouse company, frankly, here. And it's you've been so big in like Europe or even Africa and places, and we're seeing a big change. And it's been a typical IWMS product in terms of what it can do. You have tracking real estate and portfolio and projects and things like operations and maintenance. But Planon has really taken a huge leap past all of that into very much into becoming a technology or merging with technology company. And so I want to talk to you about that. But first, you've been in this business for a couple of years, right? So tell us a little bit of background on yourself for those who don't know you.
Sure. So thanks for having me, Tracy. Appreciate it. So I've been with Planon for about 3 years as president of North America. My background is really more in smart building consulting. I had my own consulting business for several years, which was acquired by JLL. So I spent some time working with corporate commercial real estate owners on the application of technology for their buildings. So I've spent about 30 years in the industry, all within the prop tech space. Starting from the 1990s with high-speed internet in buildings. And back then, that's what we considered a smart building. And I've seen the industry evolve since then to, smart buildings, networked physical building operations. Once we have connectivity to the building, we can pull data out of the building. So I think, those internet days were really what launched this whole, smart building movement, if you will. And over that period of time, we've also seen the industry evolve because technology changes so quickly and there's so many advances. So fast forward, what brought me to Planon was really, I think, this 30 years of experience in a variety of different roles that have all kind of been stepping stones to the new smart building, which is not just physical building operations, not just connecting, BMS systems and lighting and access control and all of those components, but really connecting to the people in the space and really connecting to the data that's coming out of the workplace so that the building itself can respond to the real-time needs of the occupants. So when you look at, what you've described as kind of a traditional IWMS, which is integrated workplace management solution, traditionally that's been limited to CMMS, work order management. Over time, we've now added space management and real estate management, energy and sustainability management, and a lot of different components of workplace technology bundled into one single solution. So if you take my background in smart buildings and looking at integrating the physical building operations, and you combine that with integrating your workplace technologies, and now you start to connect both sides of the house, that's what we consider a truly smart building. So I think my background in the smart building world and in physical building integration and physical building systems has really led me to Planon to help Planon even take that step beyond IWMS. And as we're looking at, the integration with the building operations and energy management, and all of those components, I think we're in a perfect, it's kind of the perfect storm, the trifecta of smart buildings, digital workplace, and now also ERP financial, which I'm sure we'll talk about in just a minute.
But you definitely have a wide variety of experience. There's a lot of people who work just in a certain piece of it. They're like space planning experts or they're lease accounting experts. But then you go past just the traditional IWMS definition, and get more under that whole technology side of the building. And we'll talk about some things that Planon's done that are very interesting around that. But But from a standpoint of Planon as an IWMS, tell me a little more about that product and what makes it maybe unique and different compared to other things in the market.
Sure. Well, Planon's been in business for 42 years. We were founded in the Netherlands by Pierre Hulen, who is still our CEO. And the company was founded as a CAFM solution, computer-aided facility management. So our roots are really in facility management and revolutionizing and digitizing facility management. So if you're familiar with CMMS, work order management, ticketing, asset and maintenance management, really looking at the types of solutions and software that's needed to help run the facility and to support facility management. Now that initial solution has, as I mentioned, evolved over 42 years to include additional components, space management. I think our number one demand right now is space management, space utilization. If you're looking at post-COVID return to the office, I always say that data is the answer to the I don't know, question. And if you look at your buildings and you say I don't know to any of the following questions, you're not doing a good job of managing your building. So those questions are, how many people are in my building right now? I don't know. What are my energy costs going to be this month? I don't know. What do I project my energy costs are going to be this year? What is the indoor air quality in my building right now? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. And so when you take a look at an IWMS and all the data that we can collect, it helps building owners answer those I don't know questions. And right now, space management, everyone wants to know how many people are coming in. What's my utilization? What are my busiest days? And if you don't have the data to show the trends in the building, you cannot effectively manage a large real estate portfolio. So I think that when you look at the growth of Planon and the evolution of going from, CAFM and asset maintenance management to now space management, and now you add real estate management, and you're looking at your leases and your lease portfolio globally, and you're tying in your space utilization metrics to understand, where do I need more space? Where can I condense my space? How do I optimize my real estate portfolio using the data and understanding the data that's coming out of those facilities? And then layer on top of that your energy management data. Which of my facilities is potentially using more energy per square foot than others? And compare that against your real estate leasing data. And so really taking a look at the full breadth of all of the data coming out of your facilities in order to make better business decisions about your real estate. And I think that's really where Planon excels. We talk about single source of truth, but how many companies have really solved single source of truth? We still have a lot of companies that are bolting on, they buy this solution, this point solution, they buy this point solution, and they try to connect them. And you still end up with silos, even inside of one solution. But, let's go back maybe 10, 15 years. Most companies buy point solutions for several reasons. First of all, the business itself is fragmented. You've got the facility management group that needs work order management software. You have the real estate group that needs space management software. You have the leasing team that needs lease management software. And they all have different budgets and they all have different interests. So they end up buying a bunch of independent point solutions, and their data's all over the place. So when you look at the value of an IWMS, in pulling all of those point solutions into one fully integrated solution, that's where Planon really excels. We're not a point solution. We can sell you one of our components as a point solution, but that's not really the power of Planon. The power of Planon is being that single source of truth, fully integrated solutions, and really getting the value out of what an IWMS can do.
Yeah, it's definitely a product that's been around a long time, and it's obviously matured a lot over the years. And it's not just a product that's in one geographic area or anything either. It's very much a global product, and it's quite well known. But Planon has gone to, at least in my view, kind of the next level with a couple of really key strategic partnerships. And I'm really fascinated by the impact on the product, the company, the market in general, for matter of fact. So let's talk about those. How about, You have a relationship now with Schneider that to me is very interesting because they're very much a technology company around buildings and facilities. What does that bring into Planon, or what does Planon bring to Schneider? You know, it's a two-way street.
Absolutely. So Schneider is currently a partner of Planon. They're one of our investors. So that currently I'm a minority shareholder in the company. Schneider is consistently rated one of the most sustainable companies in the world. And as Planon continues to move more into smart buildings and integrate with physical building systems and focus on building efficiency, energy management, and sustainability, our partnership with Schneider Electric becomes paramount. So when you look at where is the industry going and the trends that we're seeing in the industry, it's not separating out smart buildings and digital workplace. It's bringing those two sides of the house together. So the relationship with Schneider Electric was one of the first that you've seen in the industry of a powerhouse smart building energy management focused company that focuses on optimizing building operations with a powerhouse digital workplace company that focuses on optimizing the value of the workplace itself. So you look at that trend of Schneider Electric plus Planon, and now we've seen other trends in the industry with large building operations, smart building companies that are looking at acquiring or investing in IWMS, digital workplace software companies. So what you're seeing is the market coming together. And I think Planon and Schneider Electric were the first and clearly the leader in that space. So we're very excited about the partnership with Schneider. We're building products with them to connect, for example, their Building Advisor product to Planon through our Connect for Building Advisor product. Looking at additional energy management and sustainability reporting tools, and really going to the market with Schneider as a leader in the smart building software management space. So when you combine the two, it's a 1 + 1 = 3. And again, I think it's been trend setting in the industry because now we're seeing that continue. Quite frankly, with a lot of our competitors that realize that that's the direction the industry's going. And if they really want to compete in the smart building space, they need to look at bringing both sides of the house together.
But right now for you and your team here in the North America team, it seems like with the legislation that's been passed and is pending that impacts reporting requirements around especially sustainability, that the Schneider Planon partnership to me seems really key because it's all about the data. You can't make this stuff up because there are potential criminal or civil penalties for being inaccurate. So I don't know if you have any thoughts on that too, but it just seems to me like this is a really extraordinary time in a way for that partnership to really take off in North America.
Absolutely. And you're seeing a lot more government regulations, reporting requirements, and you cannot collect and report that volume of data across a single building or especially a large portfolio without software. You can't do it. So being able to tie into that physical building system, being able to tie into indoor air quality data, temperature and humidity data, energy data, carbon footprint data, and be able to collect and validate that information, and then be able to also report that information. But, more importantly than reporting the information is visualizing and understanding what that information means to the operation of your building. So the reporting component of it is great. It's almost like a catalyst for people to change. Sometimes you need the stick. Sometimes there's a carrot, sometimes there's a stick, right? And sometimes both work very well hand in hand. But the important thing about the reporting metrics is not that the government is requiring that you report. It's forcing visibility and forcing understanding of what your building operations mean to the environment and to the future of, our planet. And so by forcing that reporting, if you will, you're looking at now different components of building operations. It's not just cost savings. It's really environmental stewardship, carbon footprint. What does my building mean in terms of the future of our planet, literally? So when you combine Schneider Electric and Planon, and Schneider being, again, one of the most sustainable buildings companies in the world, with Planon's ability to collect that data, report that data, and also provide automated responses to that data. I think that's one of the big missing pieces is pulling the data in, but then also doing something with it. And so, if you identify that you're simultaneously heating and cooling a space, being able to then send a sequence of operations back to the BMS to be able to remedy that situation. And there's so many different examples of automation and building automation and responses to data that I think will really contribute not just to energy management and cost savings, but also to that sustainability goal.
So actionable data, and it's all about, at the end of the day, transparency and accountability. The sustainability piece is part of ESG, and governance is sitting back now going, we have potential liabilities here, but we also have corporate responsibility. And there's also trends clear in the market that show consumers, in particular younger consumers today, are looking at companies who are sustainable when they make purchases. So these companies, if they're going to be around and succeed, they have to take action on that sustainability piece. And I really love the Planon Schneider story personally. I think it's a really great winning combination of adding technology, hardware type and other types of building technology in with the IWMS concept. It's a huge win. But you guys have gone to another strategic partnership this year, or last year, I guess it started, which I think is just as important in many ways, because we have the ability to have auditable data. We have to have financial data, and Planon has a partnership now with SAP. And I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on that.
Yeah, so we talk about the trifecta, the integration of smart buildings, digital workplace, and now you put in the financial component of it to really be able to look at how do smart buildings, how does building automation, how does sustainability, energy management impact your bottom line? So our partnership with SAP is really looking at all the real estate management components of your portfolio, lease administration, lease accounting, and understanding what the different components of your building strategy, your maintenance strategy, your operation strategy, how do they affect your financials? So Planon is currently working with SAP, and we are replacing their Sire application, their Sire product, which is basically their real estate management product. And we've created Planon Real Estate Management for SAP, or Prem for SAP, as we're calling it. It's a very exciting time. We're talking to a lot of SAP customers about the benefits of that Prem for SAP product, but also looking at then, introducing them to Planon through SAP and through real estate management, but again, working with them on that evolution to fully integrated real estate management, space management, energy management, and asset maintenance management. So it really is that trifecta, that three-legged stool that, now 1 + 1 + 1 = 10. So very excited about the partnership with SAP as well.
So the thing that also interests me with this is that now I have data from very small source sensor data, who's at a desk, who's in the floor, who's at the water cooler kind of data, all the way through financial reports and everything in between. And as I think about the world of AI that's coming and being able to take data and analyze it and look for things, that trifecta is quite the source of information. And I'm really fascinated by the potential for AI working in conjunction with Planon, because there's just so much data out there that, frankly, you have so many data sources and so many different types of data. Human being cannot sit and look for trends and look for things that something like an AI can. So I think there's a potential for Planon to become quite the leader in the AI market. And I'm speculating, but I think Planon has the data sets to really, take a leadership role.
Absolutely. And again, I think the leadership role is a key term, because it's not just about integrating the solutions. It's not just about Planon connecting to Schneider, connecting to SAP. It's about the subject matter experts that understand their world and their domain better than anyone else on the planet, right? So when you look at SAP as a leader and Schneider Electric as a leader and Planon as a leader, we understand our world, we understand our space. So it's not just the physical product, but the people behind the product and the expertise that they bring to the conversation. So when you look at Schneider has, the world's greatest subject matter experts on energy management and sustainability in buildings. You have SAP as a global ERP solution. They have the expertise in terms of financial management and real estate management. And so it's not just about the product, it's about the people behind the product and what that expertise brings to the equation. So not only are we looking at building products and solutions together, we're looking at taking the intelligence of all three companies and figuring out how we can take that data and gain better insights into that data. What does that data really mean? You can spin data inside out and backwards. You can run any different type of report, but if the data going into that report is not accurate, or for some reason there's some type of a skewed input into that data, you're going to get the wrong output. They say garbage in, garbage out. And I think when you look at the leadership and the intelligence of the people that are building the products, they're the ones that are able to really take a look at what the value is of the solutions that we're delivering to the marketplace and making sure that those solutions are delivering the right level of value for our customers and for their business.
That's interesting. So I'm curious if when you look at a competitive analysis of where Planon is in the market compared to others out there, and what makes you different? I mean, you've actually talked about a great number of things that are great differentiators, but kind of in summary, what are the few points that you can say makes you at Planon the solution for not just, I hate to use the term IWMS because it's so much past that now. It's this entire technology around facilities and smart buildings and getting all the way up to our accountants who need to see hard numbers. I mean, what if you were to throw out a few points there, what are your big competitive advantages?
Yeah, absolutely. And we even tend to shy away from the term IWMS anymore because that kind of pigeonholes you into a limited, this is what you do. And I think the value of Planon is the fact that there are no limits to what we can do. And we're constantly evolving. I mean, we're releasing a new version of Planon Live every month. With whether it's bug fixes or improvements, or we're launching a new solution, or we've announced a new partner, we've launched a new integration with another global leader in their domain. So I think the power of Planon is that it is unlimited in what we can do. Whether it's our partnerships with Schneider and SAP, that doesn't limit us. We also can integrate into any of the leading BMS, smart building companies. We are an open platform. We can integrate into just about everything, right? So I think that, primary differentiator is there's nothing that restrains Planon, if you will. We're very flexible. We're very open. We've got amazing people. I always like to talk about the people behind the product, right? Because you can buy a product, but it's really the people that are going to be supporting that product for the next 5, 10, even 15 years. So when you look at a solution like Planon, it's a very, very powerful tool. And we always tell our customers, this is not a one-time buy the product, install the product, and you're done, right? It is a long-term partnership and a long-term journey. And the reason it's a long-term journey is because that technology will continue to evolve, continue to improve, continue to add new features and functionality, continue with new partnerships, new integrations. And most of that is driven directly from demands from our customers. So we're constantly keeping up with what's the pulse of the market. As I mentioned, post-COVID, everything was about space utilization. How many people are coming in? So we've developed partnerships now with a lot of IoT companies and sensor companies, and whether it's Verge Sensor, Disruptive, looking at additional partnerships that can help us solve that immediate need, that immediate market demand. So we're constantly keeping an eye on the pulse of the market. We launched the advisory council in North America last year, where we're meeting with our customers on a bi-monthly basis to literally say, what is most important to you? What do you need us to help you solve? And so I think really investing in research and development, investing in customer ideas, really responding to the trends of the market and responding to the trends of the customers is going to keep Planon at the forefront and as one of the leaders in this real estate management space.
You know, I want to go off on a slight tangent for a second, because you talked about something that really is an important point to me. You love to talk about your people. You were talking about the company culture. And I think that's very important. And I've met a lot of people at Planon, and I have been just fascinated by the vibe. Okay. And that cultural vibe, and whether that's, in Boston with the team up there, or whether that's, meeting Peter somewhere or you somewhere out at one of the shows or something, there is a vibe in this company that to me is electric. Is that accurate? I mean, it's just the way I feel when I meet you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad you brought that up. Again, when you can get up in the morning and look forward to going to work every day, not just because we have a great company and we have a great product, but we really, really, truly have great people. And I don't know about you, but in terms of looking at job satisfaction, it's really more about the people you work with, right? And so I am absolutely privileged to lead the team here in North America. We have great people. We have a great culture. I just did an interview with Susan Spires and her Trustworthy organization, and talked about trust in the workplace. And, we really do have a lot of fun together. We work hard. We have each other's back. So talking about the culture of the company, we truly do have a great organization, whether it's just here in North America or especially globally. We've got each other's back. Several of my mottos in the organization is, I don't want to ever hear someone say that's not my job, right? When we've got a spike in RFPs and all of a sudden everybody's got to crash or get the RFPs and respond to that in time, when we've got issues with a lot of customers have a lot of requirements, we pull people from one group and put them in another group. And we take a solutions advisor and put them back on the implementation team. We take a consultant and send them out to a customer space. We really do take care of each other, take care of our customers, and it is truly a great place to work.
Yeah, I've the very first time I was up in Boston, again, I said it earlier, excuse me, but the vibe, just the feeling amongst the staff was just amazing. Another thing you touched on too, we talk about Schneider and SAP and the partnerships there, but you have a global partner network as well, which eBiz, of course, is a part of. Our specialty is the successful implementation of systems, and Planon is a great strategic partner for us. And I think that's really important too, that you have this wide variety of companies that have a lot of experience to help make Planon successful for the long run. It's not just a one-year thing, as you were saying. It's 5, 10 years, 20 years that goes on. So the partner network is very important, and I think Planon has a very successful partner network around the world.
Absolutely. And what I love about, talk about the culture and the company and the product, but our ecosystem of partners is also one of the major differentiators. Our system integrator partners, our consulting partners, our referral partners. We've been able to build a very large network, specifically here in North America, to help spread the word and spread the message and spread the value of Planon. And so with eBusiness Strategies, you guys are one of our closest partners, not only for the implementation of our software, but also, again, because of your expertise, your knowledge of the industry, your ability to help customers and prospects evaluate the different solutions in the market and be able to advise them on what the right solution is for them. And so Planon's thrilled to be one of your partners. We're thrilled that you're bringing us to your network. And we're thrilled that we're going to market together. Because again, your expertise in your space, our expertise in terms of delivering solutions, makes a perfect partnership.
Yeah, we're very, very excited. And that kind of goes to really the last topic I had in mind, which is, as a partner and actually as a fan of the product in general, or actually of the whole Planon ecosystem now. Maybe instead of saying IWMS, it's the Planon ecosystem, right? What can you tell us about the next couple of years? What do you think's going to happen with this trifecta?
Well, I'll tell you, Tracy, we've seen exponential growth in the last 2 years alone. I think that, the more we get out into the market and the more people realize the value of a fully integrated solution. And again, not just on the workplace side, but that trifecta of smart buildings, digital workplace, and financial solutions is really the direction the world is going. You're not going to be able to do AI. You're not going to be able to do even BI without having all your data in the same place. And without really having, again, that single source of truth that we continue to talk about. If you have to pull data from multiple sources and you've got conflicting data sets and you don't understand which one is actually accurate, let's just take space management data as a very simple example. There's probably 10 different sources that you could potentially turn to for space data. You got badge swipe data, you got network login data, you got sensor data, you've got CCTV camera data, you've got 16 different ways to identify how many people are in the building, and none of them are accurate. None of them are 100% accurate. So when you look at a solution that can give you real-time, accurate, location-based utilization data, that's a step way above badge swipe data. So taking a look at what is the data you need, how do you get that data, and then what do you do with that data? I think that's really the secret and the secret sauce, if you will, behind Planon, behind the product, is we have the ability to identify what data you need, first of all. We have the ability to get that data, whether it's by installation of physical hardware, sensors, whether it's connecting to data that you already have. So we can help you put together that strategy, that vision, that roadmap. So it's not really as much about what is our roadmap for the future, but what are our customers' roadmaps for the future? What is their vision for the next 3 to 5 years? And Planon's job is really to respond to that. Now, as a consultant, I don't think I'll ever take off my consulting hat. And part of what I love about my job, whether it was at JLL, at WeWork, as a consultant on my own, or even here at Planon, is working with customers to understand what that vision is and also help them shape that vision. Because a lot of times, you don't know what you don't know. So a lot of times we can actually help our customers with the vision by explaining to them the art of the possible. Did you know that you can do this if you have this type of solution or this type of data? And sometimes just seeing the light bulbs go off, over someone's head, whereas can we actually do that? Absolutely. Can you pull that data in? Can you automate this? Can you really look at the application of AI and BI within my portfolio? Absolutely. So I look at us all as consultants, and our job is to advise our clients and obviously position, Planon solutions to meet the needs of those customers. So when you look at what is the long-term goal for Planon over the next 5 or 10 years, it's continue to be the leader in the smart building space, continue to evolve our product to meet the needs of the market and to meet the needs of our customers, and also to lead those customers down that path and down that journey to kind of help them shape, what is their vision and what do they see as the future of their building. So thrilled to be in a position to be able to continue to do that.
With the trifecta of Planon, Schneider, and SAP, that could be quite the wide-ranging discussion about what are the art of the possible, what's the art of the possible, right? Because you can cover an awful lot of ground. It's almost here, I'll give you a 1,000-page book of things that we could do. And maybe not a 1,000-page book, an ebook that's about a terabyte. How's that? That's probably a more modern term.
Exactly. Well, and in very powerful partnerships with Schneider Electric and SAP. However, I do want to point out that doesn't mean that we're limited in any way to specific, solutions. So we can certainly integrate with other building management systems, other ERP platforms. I think, again, the power of the partnerships is in the expertise of those two companies in their own domain. And really the investment from those companies in continuing to develop solutions for Planon, with Planon, by Planon. So really looking at what does that mean to us in the next 10 years, right? The infusion of capital, the additional investment possibilities, the additional subject matter expertise in the areas of building, leasing, real estate management, energy management, sustainability, smart buildings. I mean, you're putting the smartest people and the smartest companies in the world all together to help solve the issues around managing our buildings. And at the end of the day, the goal is to make sure that we can manage those buildings in a cost-effective, efficient, and sustainable manner. And I think Planon, SAP, Schneider, and all of our partners around the world are helping us do that.
Great. Well, look, I really appreciate you taking time out to have a conversation with me today. It's really going to be interesting. 2024 is an exciting year in this whole area. In 25, 26, it's not going to slow down. So this is really an exciting time for Planon. It's an exciting time for people like myself who are big sustainability advocates. So appreciate you taking the time and look forward to seeing how things go for the next couple of years. And look forward, of course, as an eBiz being a partner, looking forward to success together.
Well, absolutely. And Tracy, I would be remiss if I didn't also mention your expertise and your tenure in the industry. Certainly spent a lot of time in this space. And so I really appreciate the opportunity to talk to you today. Appreciate your partnership through eBiz and also appreciate your friendship over the years.
Yep. Looking forward to seeing you again soon in person.
Great. Thanks, Tracy.
Thank you.
All right.